Kony 2012 intervening in Africa. I mean, are people idiots? Do you people not even know the history of Africa? I'm not talking about ancient Africa. I'm talking about Africa during the time of the 60s when Pan-Africanism was going around. Pan-Africanism was bigger than Islam is on the world stage now. Okay? And during that time, you had all African efforts to make Africa better. You see? No intervention, no aid, none of that. Africa does not need aid. Okay? Kony 2012 people and whomever else. Africa does not need your aid. Okay? Africa does not need your aid. What Africa does need is for you all to completely stop intervening. Absolutely stop. Absolutely stop is the only answer to the equation. Stop intervening in Africa. Okay? Educate yourself on Africa. And realize that what you're talking about, there's been many great African men and women who have died and been killed, okay, or bought out in Africa. That in the time of the 60s, whether it was the Mau Mau Rebellion, whether it was Kwame Nkrumah, whether it was Patrice Lumumba, whether it was many other individuals, the people in Kenya, people in Ethiopia, all over the continent. In the 60s, there was a push for African unification on all lines, which, if completely left alone and out of the hands of the West, Africa would be the China as we speak right now, today. Okay? Dambisa Moyo. Okay? Remember the name. Dambisa Moyo. She even said, Africa, developing countries in Africa need a dictator. Okay? Democracy is two wolves and a lamb voting for what's for lunch. Okay? All of you people who run out 2012, 2012, 2012, you're the same people that listen to Bob Marley and you swear up and down like you're about peace and love and you understand African people, so-called black people. You understand. You understand because you listen to Bob Marley. You understand. So because you have a Kony 2012 Make Him Famous sticker, you know about Africa. You know what's right for Africa. You know that there's no way that propaganda can be at play and can be at work here. There's no way that the Ugandan government or other governments in Africa could come together and do what these supposed trainers from the U.S. military are doing in Uganda for the Ugandan people. Okay? I have a few Ugandan friends, and they tell me that it is absolute bullshit. Okay? Then there's also from another side word that he's not even in. He's not even in Uganda. He's operating out of the Congo. And yet you all jump up and you act like you know exactly what's going on. What Africa needs is for you to leave it alone completely. Okay? Now, is there honest to goodness charities out there for Africa? Yes. But most are in it for the fame and the money, and some are backed by government. And I'm telling you right now, Africa does not need nor want your filthy aid. Africa does not want your dirty pedophile aid workers neither. Okay? And many of the Ugandan, not just Ugandan, many Africans, many continental Africans will tell you that in Africa, many of the aid workers are pedophiles. Okay? Sleep with children, boys and women of the same sex, opposite sex. Okay? Many of them engage in criminal activity. with the disenfranchised because they can, because they have the UN, or because they have the protection of they're an aid worker. Okay, before you all jump on this Kony 2012 bandwagon, why don't you go look at Nazi Germany and see what Goebbels had to say about propaganda? Okay, nobody is better at propaganda on this planet Earth than the United States. Okay, which means everything that comes out has to be evaluated by the non-societal trained slave mind. Okay, which means that you have to view it from your heart, your intuition, and your own research. Look at the facts. Go talk to Ugandans themselves that are not on a payroll for some organization because that organization is the hand that feeds them. Africa does not need aid, and Africa does not want your filthy, dirty money. You know who needs help? The countries in Europe that want to break out and get the hell out of the EU, okay? Where the people are rioting, the people are fed up, the people are frustrated, the people are flustered. And yet you all automatically look at Africa and associate it with poverty, filth, AIDS, and think that Africa is just some big retarded baby. Not even just a baby, but a retarded baby, okay? A retarded baby. That when you give it a pacifier, it doesn't even know how to suck on it. See what I'm saying? That's the mindset. That's the mindset. Oh, Africa, Africa, the big black Africa just needs help. We just need to help these people. We just need to help these people. These people just oh my God, we just need to help these people. That's no different. That's actually just as racist as somebody saying, those damn Africans don't know how to govern themselves, so we have to go up in there and give them democracy. We have to bring in the Catholic and Christian right to make Africa better. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Like, do your research on Africa, okay? Africans, we worked hard to make something happen in the 60s. But you want to know what happened? It was destabilized and sabotaged. And our leaders were killed, okay? Our leaders were killed. They were murdered. And then people who took their place, which are many of them are the current dictators now in many African countries, are steadily keeping it the way it is. And nothing is going to change that except the United States and all these little Bob Marley, Kony 2012 people on the bandwagon to realize, Africa will fix itself. What nation on earth, what society on earth has never fixed itself from a dictator or from a tyrant? Name one. Name one. You can't name one. You can't name a single nation in the history of humankind, the species. Even the Roman Empire fell after a certain period of time, but there was no intervening. That's what's slowing Africa down. Is all this intervening, is people thinking that they know what's best for Africans. We know what's best, but as soon as we step up to do something, your governments, your daddy governments from the Western countries, they come in, sabotage, and start dropping humanitarian bombs, or CIA, or many other kind of secret agents to destabilize Africa, or the bankers that give money to people that they want to back that have their interests and not the people. Come on, if you really want to help Africa, really start a campaign that says absolutely no aid to Africa. Stay out of their business. In time, even if it takes 50 years, in time, Africa will overthrow and mercilessly take out every dictator that is in Africa right now. Just like every other civilization on the face of the planet Earth has done since the beginning of time. You give people an opportunity, no matter how long it takes, to fix their problems themselves. Civil wars break out, and most likely the dictators will be overthrown, and then you can have a new institutionalized setting for peace. Kony 2012, all you people, learn your facts. Please, Africa does not need aid, nor your dirty aid workers.